So, next up, Misty Lake. Map 3. So, Rumia, as mentioned in the Map 1, or Map 2, this is Map 3, is the introduction to the spell card system. And that's something you'll see more of in later boss fights. And I'll try to point out more things about it because, as I said, it turns out the development process is long enough that in many cases I'll finish maps faster than I can actually commentate the developer process for it. Which is funny, but at the same time is also indicative of just how much I really had to put into this. Again, this looks rough. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. It's touched up a bit from the original. I added some more ambient stuff to make it look better, but it does look kind of rough. So, yeah, this is map 2. Now, as you can see, if you're on Lunatic, I probably should have mentioned this, actually. The main thing what the difficulties change are bullet patterns. On different difficulties, there's an increasing number of bullets. Daiyousei really is not very notable. There's not much to say about her fight, aside from it's a thing, I guess. Wow, she is really shy today. Normally she teleports at me a bit more. Got her. So, and that lowers that. So, this map, the fairies, as you're probably noticing, have increased firepower over their variants in Stage 1, despite using the same sprites. This is because Danmaku enemies in a nutshell. If they use the same sprites but they're on a different map or in a different stage, well, they can use different patterns. Shoot 'em ups in general love to reuse sprites, and as a result, you just kind of have to learn what patterns they use. Generally speaking, the blue fairies do use similar patterns, though. It's next episode that really ramps that up. And the red fairies, or the pink fairies anyway, also have similar patterns. Oh god. Why did I spread these guys out so much? Can't use the rocket launcher very effectively until they group up. And yeah, on hard, these guys only shoot a single individual bullet, and on Lunatic, they fire spreads of 3. And on easy normal, they don't fire anything, because these guys are kind of introductory. They also have a melee attack, so they can still hurt you on easy and normal. And yeah, there's also a lot of gameplay knowledge that'll be divulging. Alright, so that was... Can I get the double rocket? Yes! Got 1 and 1. So, now we get to everyone's favorite ice fairy, Cirno. Or as I've always pronounced it, Cirno, because I am bad at this. But Cirno is the ice fairy, and our little ice fairy here is actually the first boss I designed for Touhou Doom. So, when Touhou Doom started, it started literally just as a proof of concept for the boss fights. And I don't feel like dealing with this, so I'm going to quickly use that. Normally, you don't... Plasma rifle ammo is usually limited. If you're pistol starting this map, it's... So yeah, you want to kind of circle strafe this map. You'll take some ambient damage, and try to remember that you have a soul sphere, because that's 100 health. Might as well use it. These ice... As deadly as that attack looks, and as deadly as that looks, each of those only does 9 damage per shot, so... Oh yeah, of course it does 9 damage. Why would it do anything normal? This attack can just be tap dodged. So, a skill you might want to learn if you haven't learned it yet. Any attack that is directly aimed at you can basically be dodged by just tapping like that. It's called streaming, and it's quite useful. And yes, Cirno has 3 spell cards and 2 non-cards. So if Rumia, the first boss, was the introduction to the spell card system, Cirno is meant to be the introduction to the fact that I have a 3rd dimension and will use it. Not that much, but it's a thing. And yeah, with that in mind, that wraps up map 2. Again, there's not much to talk about with its map cycle. It was early, and it's not great, but again, it serves its purpose. So that is map 3.